If the taxes increase pass in November, when would we see our first proportionate? When will funds be allocated? Do you know, or could you predict, or what?
There is an apportionment schedule, and we get a certain amount of monies kind of over the year, and it kind of dwindles over time. I don't have an apportionment schedule, but it's not, if the taxes pass, it's the amount of monies we get, not that the timing of it will significantly change. Now, if the taxes do pass, part of the issue with the taxes being passed is the revenues we recognize will basically, again, be flat, but with the monies that gets deferred, will no longer, they'll basically buying off the deferral, so we'll get our monies more timely. So the monies that we would be owed in 2012-13, if the taxes pass, we would get that money in 2012-13. And so what that time frame is, I don't know right now, but we can try to find out if we can.
Okay.
But can I just follow up on that? But there's 3 tax measures right now that are being considered for the ballot. Well, let's start with this. Would any of them give us additional revenue on top of what we have already? Do we know enough about them to understand that?
So this is ongoing conversation, obviously, and some work in Sacramento today. I believe there was a compromise reached between CFT and the governor on blending and actually initiating a new initiative. So CFT, California Federation of Teachers. So the opportunity to get fewer initiatives on the ballot is underway. I think the changes that I understand currently, and these are just happening today, I don't know if they are officially in the what was written, but going from a half-cent sales tax increase to a quarter-cent, and then a graduated rate for the millionaire's tax from $1 million to $500 to $250 and $250,000. Yeah. So there's a blending of the 2 initiatives that will add revenue. There's still a question about whether or not it fixes the base, and to Vernon's point, that the question of the deferrals gets taken up, but the actual deficit factor doesn't necessarily get deeply fixed. So the new base is the conversation still with the governors, and it's also time-bound. So there may only be 2. The other initiative supported by Molly Munger would be an immediate approximately $1,300 to schools, really directly focused on K-12. Heavy, some critique about that it started taxes everybody. That said, the money goes directly to K-12. Really, many, the PTA, most folks that I know, it makes a lot of sense to them. That money goes right to my school. Why wouldn't we do it?
But what about the timing? Like one.
But it doesn't actually, that initiative also doesn't address the base, the Prop 98 base. And without a sales tax increase, it's actually a hit to 1213. So regardless of what gets passed, this is what's really hard about these. Regardless of what gets passed, there's a hit to school districts. And largely, the ones that are most deeply impacted are those districts that have been deficit spending and spending one-time funds to make up for the deferrals and to make up for the deficit factor. And so to say that it will be fixed structurally is actually not accurate until out years. So it's a very complex conversation, and I only have just read what got posted and what people are talking about, this new blended initiative, and they're going out to start gathering signatures. But
This is something else on top of what we got?
right, so it is still the governor working in partnership with the California Federation of Teachers. There would currently be 2 initiatives, but that said, I don't know enough about what's really what got written, so I haven't read the newly proposed language, which was supposed to have been submitted this afternoon.